Alright, so welcome to another edition of So You Want to Be a Chef. This is a little bit different from the other ones because this is going to be a knife review. So pretty much, to give you a heads up, I'm not using the normal webcam. I'm using my cell phone, which is an Evo 4G. And things may sound a little bit different, whatever, but bear with me. We're going to try it out. So anyhow, on to the review. So to explain to you how I came about buying this Shun, I did a lot of research in knives. The two knives that I looked at, santokus, and also the globals. The globals. I hear a lot about them. I read about them in Anthony Bourdain's book. And I started research into different methods, forging and I guess metallurgy would be the best way to describe it. So every single knife has its strengths and weaknesses based upon how it was made. Now the globals are, I believe, stamped. I'm not sure. Correct me if I'm wrong on that. And it doesn't look like they're as good as quality as Shun. You know, that has that VG10 inner core and the mask. I believe it's 15, 16 layers, I'm not sure. So the global, you know, being that it was like smaller grip, the different sort of metallurgy, you know, the making of its metal, and the making of the knife itself, I chose Shun. Now, then we can get into the German versus Japanese and the traditional, like, classic chef's knife, you know, I guess it's the French style, I believe it's called, chef's knife, versus santoku. I can start from the whole German thing. Basically, to me, they're heavier, they're just not comfortable. Where the handle meets the knife, you know, it's very abrasive, and then the top of the blade where you normally pinch grip, like show you on the Shun knife here, this part right here isn't as smooth as a lot of the Japanese knives, in particular the Shun knife. So that being the case, the big deciding factor was the actual blade edge. Shun grinds their edges at 16 degrees, is where most German blades are in the 20-degree range, and it's very, very sharp. Is the best way to describe it to you. With normal German knives, they're sharp, but it's the difference between, like, you know, sharp and like razor sharp. It's definitely there. So anyhow, I'll show you the knife. Let's see if I can take it back here. There you go. That's it right there. Like I said, it is the hollow ground Shun santoku. A few other great features about this knife in particular are the G-shaped handle here. I feel it fits my hand great, as well as where the actual knife meets the handle here. This little ridge is very smooth, and it allows you to get that pinch grip on there. Perfect. It's just, for my hand, it's great. It is just very comfortable all around. So anyhow, I wanted to see how well it would hold its edge, because when I spoke to some premium knife dealers, they were telling me that the VG10 steel was good, but was not good as SG2. And SG2, they use a different process, which I believe it disperses the metals that compose the SG2 steel, or that are composed of SG2 steel. It disperses them, mixes them better, I guess would be the best way to describe it, and that gives it its strength. And VG10 is not as strong as SG2, and so then you have a choice between a $130 knife. This knife normally sells for $130. Mine's cheaper. I'll tell you about that later. And a knife that is just made better. and I think that it was $20–30 difference in price. So you're looking at $150 to $160 for what they call, I believe it's called the Bure Zen, and that is a handmade Japanese knife. So definitely, when you look at the prices, the Shun, in comparison to the SG2, according to the guy at the store, as well as the research I've done, SG2 will hold its edge longer, less sharpening, so it'll actually last you longer, I guess, is the thinking behind it. And the reason why I bought this is because they were having a sale, and I actually got this guy for $80. So I wouldn't have owned a Shun knife. I probably would have got the Bure Zen, because you only need like one red knife and a steel. You know, you really don't need, like, doing very minute, detailed work, maybe a bird's beak or a paring knife, or both. But that's why I, got this guy. I would have invested the $150, $160, because you need a good knife. Like I said earlier, it's very important, that you have a few good working horses, and basically the rest you can use your skills to, I guess, compensate for having so many different pieces of equipment. But I don't know, from what I've seen in the industry, most people don't have a lot of knives. And that's basically it. This knife has the Damascus pattern, as you can see on it, like I said, which is the layering on top of the VG10, the hollow ground edge right here. A note on the hollow ground edge as well as the Damascus. I've heard stories and I've heard advertisements of Damascus saying that this also helps repel food, and not necessarily like throw the food off there, but it's not even, so it's harder for the food to get stuck in there because air gets stuck in there. Same idea behind the hollow ground here, right? Do I notice a huge difference? No. Why did they put that in there? Well, from a lot of research and speaking to this guy, and it was crazy how it met up perfectly. What he was saying to me, and this is the best way to describe it, is basically the way that this is made is because this is a mass-produced knife. And what I mean by the way this is made, the hollow ground edge, the reason